What's good, family? You already know what this is. Twisted Talk Podcast. I'm your boy, JT. Now, we already seen the video of Pastor Wilson from Texas. So it was no need for me to put it at the beginning of this video because we already seen it. And of course, I'm going to have a few things that I need to say about that. I look at that almost as an act of molestation. And let me tell you how. When you are the shepherd of a flock, or when you are in authority position over someone, or when you are a mentor or a counselor and you work close to a person, that person confides in you. That person tells you the trauma that they've been through, especially if you're a pastor. That person talks to you in confidence, and you know things about them to the point where you can manipulate them. You can get them to do things. You can use your position of power, your position of authority to your benefit. Do you think for 1 second that if that bumpy-faced guy was driving down the street, a nobody, and pulled up to the bus stop and met some girl, he would be able to do that to her? No, she would look at him as a freak, as crazy. I put this on the same lines of molestation in the church. Yeah, she might have been overage, but the fact is, this is probably a young lady who works in the church. This is probably a young lady who stay late and give to the church. A young lady who have talked to the pastor, had counseling sessions with the pastor. He knows her. He knows her inner thoughts. He knows the trauma she's been through in life. He knows how to guide her brain, to manipulate her brain to get whatever it is that he wants. For too long now, these pastors have been doing whatever they want to do to people in these churches. For too long now, there has not been no outrage about the things that pastors have been allowed to get away with, whether it's the Catholic Church with molesting little boys, or whether it's this. Because I put this on the same level as a molestation because of who he is. See, when you are on a level, when you are sitting here on a Sunday in the pulpit, and you're telling people how they should live their lives, you're telling people what they should and should not do, you're claiming that you are a man of God, you're not a man of God. Pastor Wilson, the box-eating pastor, is not a man of God. When you consider yourself that and people looks upon you as that, you are at a higher level of discretion as far as the things that you should do. There's a higher level of discretion. There is a higher, you're expected more. More is expected out of you. And for you to do that, and for you to use your position of authority, your position of power, for you to tickle people's ears and twist words on Sunday where people think that you're more than what you are, is deplorable. It was allegedly said that this young lady is the daughter of his wife's friend, which makes it even more egregious. And his wife came out on social media and said that we, meaning me and all the other YouTubers and everyone that's on social media that's looking at the video and making comments about the video, that we're doing the devil's work. Well, what was your husband doing? When he was eating box, who work was he doing? If you want your husband not to be criticized, because he's at a higher level, more is expected out of him. If you want your husband to be a regular person, well, then he needs to get a CDL. He needs to be a truck driver. But see, you wouldn't have the life that you have. You wouldn't have the money that you have. So, of course, his wife is going to stand by him as long as that bag comes in. Meanwhile, it was a reason that girl exposed him. It was a reason why she videotaped him. No telling how long he's been trying to get with her. No telling how long he's been molesting her, even though she's of age. I just explained why I feel that it's molestation. If that bumpy-faced, old, ugly guy was driving down the street and saw a girl at a bus stop and told her to get in his car, this is what he want to do to her, she would have ran. But because this is a young lady that's part of the church, this is a young lady who he has probably mentored, a young lady who has confessed to him things, he knew how to manipulate her to get what he wanted. Pastors don't pay taxes. They get all this money. They live this great life. Your actions have to be on a level that's irreproachable. You have to be above reproach. It's just that simple. You can't be a man of God if you eat in the box of the people in the congregation. It just doesn't work like that. And the thing that kills me with people of religion is how brainwashed they are. Let's just face it, most of them are of low IQ. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them are low IQ. And I just can't believe that there is no outrage as far as what this pastor did. So let me play out what's going to happen when Sunday service comes. He's going to get up there on that stage. He's going to cut a jig. He's going to do the George Jefferson funky chicken. He's going to sweat, like I'm sweating now because of these lights, excuse me. He's going to sweat. He's going to get to crying and saying how he's a man and how he's sinned, and he's going to take the congregation to Bible scriptures. He's going to show them how David murdered the husband of Bathsheba and he slept with her, and how King Solomon had concubines and had all these women, and he's going to compare himself to those people in the Bible, and everybody's going to stand up and they're going to applaud, and his wife is going to scream hallelujah, and she's going to run up on the stage and hug him. Bullshit. That's bullshit. Eat your white box. We have to take a stand. We have to take a stand. We have to hold these religious leaders responsible for their actions. I'm going to say that one more time. We have to start showing outrage and start holding these religious leaders responsible for their actions. You want to shepherd the flock? Shepherd the flock. Don't eat the flock box. You want to stand up there on a Sunday? You want to tell people how to live their lives? You want to tell people what they should and should not do? Well, then you are held to a higher standard. Now, if you don't want to do that, like I said earlier, then, Pastor Wilson, you need to go get a CDL. Drive a truck. Go work at Walmart. Go do construction. Then you don't have to worry about nobody criticizing you. To your wife, since we're doing the work of the devil, I want to know what type of work your husband's doing. We're doing the devil's work by showing outrage at what your husband is doing. Then whose work was he doing when he was sitting up there eating box? I'm glad she exposed him. And don't get me wrong, I'm far from perfect. I'm not perfect at all. I've done a lot of bad things. I've done things, and I probably would do bad things again in the future. So I'm not above reproach. But at the same time, I'm not going up here every Sunday telling people how to live their lives. Stop being brainwashed by these religious people. Start looking for your own spirituality, and stop looking at that man in our pulpit to try to lead you to spirituality. I'm going to say that one more time. I'm not perfect. I've made many mistakes. I've done many things that I'm not proud of. But I'm not getting up there on Sunday telling people how they should live their lives, telling people what they should and what they should not be doing. It's just that simple. I'm not passing around a bucket so my wife can get the bag so she can stand by me no matter what I do, no matter who I do it to, no matter who I cause trauma to. My wife ain't, that's my husband. No. You get in the bag so your husband can't do no wrong. You passing around that tray. You're taking people money. Half the people came to feed their families or put food on their table. But you living in this big house. You're living tax-free. You're going to be held responsible. I'm going to call it out on this platform every single time. Stop brainwashing these people. People, stop following these people. Once again, we all make mistakes. To use church people saying, we all fall short of the glory of God. I get that. But to much is given, much is expected. You are at a higher level than people who are not passing that tray around, who aren't getting those bags. I was listening to Gossip Girl on YouTube, and shouts out to Gossip Girl. And she made a very good point that I really didn't think about. She made two good points I didn't think about. She said, if that was a female pastor in a male-dominated arena or sport or profession, whatever you want to call the whole preaching thing, because to me it just, like I said earlier, to me most hardcore religious people are very low IQ. That's why they fall for everything. Not all, but some, most. And a lot of people use religion like a drug. Just like most people that have experienced trauma in their life, they turn to drugs because they want to numb the pain, they want to stop the pain. Well, most of those religious people that are sitting in that church, that's listening to everything that this pastor is saying and taking it for gold, most of them have been traumatized in life as well. Most of them has come from dysfunctional backgrounds and atmosphere of dysfunction. So they turn to religion to numb their pain, which is still a drug. It's still a drug. A bad religion, a bad brainwashing of being indoctrinated into things that aren't true or things that you want to hear, that is just as bad as a heroin addiction. It's one and the same. Drug addicts use drugs because they want to numb the pain that they've been going through for the trauma caused in their life. And sometimes instead of using a drug, people turn to religion to numb that same pain. But it still is considered, to me, to be a drug. I don't care if the girl was 25. To me, that is still considered molestation in the church. Period. Period. Gossip Girl made a very good point. She said, if that was a female pastor that was prominent and she was married and she was giving brain to a male or to a guy that wasn't her husband, how would she be looked at? Do you know how much outrage it would be among the other pastors? Do you know what public statements would be made about that woman if she was to do that? Gossip Girl also made another good point that I really didn't think about. And she addressed it to women of the church. And most of women of the church, and we talk about our people, black women, instead of the comments under the video or the comments on social media of how he's wrong, how he should be cast aside from his position, or how there should be outrage, the damn sisters of the church talk about how good this man can eat box. Unbelievable. Is that where we have come? Is that where we have come as a people? Pastor Wilson, you are scum. You are scum. Not because you want to eat box. Hell, I like a good box. What man don't want to eat a good box? You're scum, not because you cheated on your wife. I would say, I'm not even going to throw numbers out there. There are a lot of men who cheat on their wives. You're scum because you're misleading the people. You're taking the people money. You're getting up there, you're cutting your jig, you're perspiring, you're huffing and puffing on stage. I wish I could really see his sermon that he's going to do about this. And how many brainwashed idiots in his congregation is going to stand up, applaud him, and give him a pass. We're not giving you a pass. You're scum. You don't need to be a pastor. You never need to be up in that pulpit. And you need to go away and take your wife with you. Maybe if she shaved her box, maybe you'll eat your wife's box. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of my people being misled, being brainwashed, and I'm tired of these black religious leaders doing the work of white supremacy by leading you down a road that is to destruction for monetary gain. Twisted Tongue Podcast, I'm JT. I'm out of here. Peace.